What is a gift? And why do we call it a gift and not an expression, a unique expression that makes us who we are? We usually call gifts the tools that we receive when we come into this embodiment. The tools that we have with us, embedded in our body and into the energy and the context in which we live. The context in which we live is useful to help us, to push us to develop these tools into wonderful gifts that can be then recognizable by us and other people. We may also call these gifts our own genius nature, our genius expression, as each of us has this potential to be a genius. These gifts come to us as tools. So the tools we can also imagine as seeds. Seeds that are embedded in our own nature and can be grown and developed into real gifts, into fruits, by nurturing and love, by proper recognition and development. Some of us may have more awareness of these gifts, and this brings a more natural expression of the gifts. The person being so drawn to doing that kind of action which puts the gift or the seed into a state of development. What makes us be more aware of our gifts? Of course, that depends on the context in which we are born and also the consciousness with which we come into this life. With the help of our consciousness, of our soul and spirit, we can be more aware of our tools and gifts and the context in which we are born, our family, the group of society, and the rules help us develop this gift or give us a lot of challenge so we can get to recognize the gift, so we can get to be pushed into using the tools that we have. By developing these tools into gifts, we become more and more of who we are in our soul. We give permission to our soul to express more. We make room for our soul and spirit to get more embodied, to be more expressed through this shape that we are. Through our work of development, we shape our body and our mind into a more proper vessel to express these gifts, to be able to align more to that shape that can express properly who we are. Throughout our lives, depending the context in which we are born, we may get to build a shape that cannot express our tools and gifts in a proper manner. So in order to reflect and to be able to use our gifts properly, we need to reshape ourselves, to refine those tough walls and edges, to remake the edges and the lines that we need in order to have this proper shape, this proper vessel, to be able to express more and more of who we are, of our soul and spirit. By developing our gifts, our genius, we get to be that perfect piece of the puzzle, and we find our perfect place into the whole image. So we become in collaboration with the universe, with life as it is. By becoming this proper shape, we get to be of use to everyone. We get to be valuable to us and to the other people. We increase our quality of life and our quality of self, and we also increase the quality of the energy we express and the density of light that we hold in our soul. In order to properly express and to start expressing our gifts, we need to recognize them. We need to be able to see and understand what they are and what tools do we have in order to develop them. Most of us cannot recognize our gifts. Why is that? They are so natural to us, they are so embedded into our own being, they pour with such easiness out of us that it is so difficult for us to differentiate them, to see them as a reflection, to see them as a mirror separated from us. Many times we may ignore our own gifts, even reject them and disconsider them. This is because for us they feel like nothing. They may feel so easy to do that we just let them be in the back of our head without putting any attention on them. We may deny these gifts just because for us they don't seem so important. They are there always, and they are reliable to us even if we are not conscious about this. So how do we recognize our gifts? First, we become aware that we do have gifts, that we do have this genius that can be expressed. And then we start looking, searching, asking, finding help in how to recognize them, in how to understand their expression. For us, they are so natural, but for other people, may be easier to spot. For other people, these gifts may pop up in their eyes, whether consciously or unconsciously. Many times we may even hear people talk about our gifts in different ways, with appreciation, with the language and words that they have, which may not be what exactly we need in order to recognize them. For example, they may tell us we are intelligent. They may tell us we have an eye for beauty. They may tell us we are too sensitive. They may tell us we feel too much. They may tell us we talk too much, or that we analyze things too much. They may tell us we are very good at spotting trouble. They may tell us we are a know-it-all. So, people may help us recognize our gifts, but many times we may not, because of the way we are used to expressing, and also because we may not understand that having an eye for trouble may be a gift. Having an eye for trouble means we have a very sensitive nature to recognizing danger for us and other people, and we may be able to anticipate things and know things before they happen. And also may help us know and pinpoint the vulnerabilities of other people so they may get protected or healed. So you see, it is not that easy to recognize, but it is not difficult if you are open to it, open to searching, understanding yourself, gaining more wisdom, and gaining more expression, being more attentive about the things you do in such an easy way. But it is always that easy? Well, it depends, because at the beginning most things are easier. So the talent you have, the gift you have, may be expressing easier in order for you to recognize it. But it needs development and nourishing. Even if you are aware since a little child of what draws you in, of the passion you have, even if you are supported by your parents and the group of society or community in which you live, you still need to develop your gift, as we are given tools and seeds in order to develop them, to make them a masterpiece. So what would be the first step to recognize your gifts? Just take a list and write whatever your passions are. And what did you most like to do when you were a child? Make a short list of all of these things. Then make another list with the usual expressions people use around you and about you. What do they appreciate about you? What do they reject? What do they most hate? When do they get most annoyed? Make a list with all of these usual expressions. After this, just take a few moments and analyze them. Contemplate a little bit about both lists. See if you can spot patterns, correlations between the two of them. Play with it. Just act like a child, detached, playing with the words, understanding in your own way what they mean. This will give you just a few glimpses of information about yourself. Just a start, a push into the right direction. From there on, you need to walk your own path, to search more, to get to know yourself more. As getting to know yourself more will help you better recognize your own gifts and your own genius.